Well, thank you very much. I want to join with Congressman Price in welcoming you here, but I want to tell you a little bit about Congressman Price. If you want to know somebody in the U.S. Congress who is knowledgeable and politically powerful, you get to know Congressman Price. He is chairman of one of the appropriations subcommittees. Now, I hope this sounds all right. I don't mean to offend anybody. But in the U.S. Congress, the chairman of the big appropriations committee in the House of Representatives is referred to as the Pope. The chairman of the subcommittees are referred to as cardinals. Congressman Price is a cardinal, which means he is very powerful. And it is wonderful that he is there as a wonderful educator. He is a teacher, a university teacher. He is also the head of the Home Security Subcommittee, which means that all of the technologies that are important to all of our countries around the world in keeping people safe, in dealing with terrorism, are being dealt with by his committee. And we are very proud of him in North Carolina, and he is someone that I would advise you to get to know. He is constantly traveling the world. He's indeed a student of world affairs, and we're very proud of him. I'm proud to be here with all of our other North Carolina leaders, including Mr. Bob Ingram of GlaxoSmithKline, who's been one of our great leaders on education and in business of all kinds. Now, all of you who are here, I suspect, have been involved in conceiving and building your own science parks. And you have come to this meeting because you're interested in finding out how you can do it better. What's going on? What's happening in other places? We're very proud of our Research Triangle Park. I want to tell you that as I view it, these kinds of endeavors are developed or depend on three things to be most successful. One is political leadership. Political leaders everywhere in the world are interested in economic growth and jobs and opportunities for their people. Second, it is built on strong science and educational institutions and resources. But an absolutely essential element is visionary business leadership. Those who are scientists can't do this in a vacuum, in some ivory tower. If it's going to work to help the people, to help your country, to help your economy, the business leaders need to be involved from the very beginning. And they need to constantly advise as to how this is to be done. And you've met the business leaders here today who've been a part of it in North Carolina. Because you see, folks, it's business that continues to do research, to identify technologies with great promise, and business that provides goods and services to the consumers around the world, especially that with high value. The Research Triangle Park got its first big boost after being created 50 years ago. It took a little while to get it going. And within 10 years, IBM decided to locate in the Research Triangle Park. And for many years, the largest IBM work site has been here in North Carolina in the Research Triangle Park. That was the first big business decision. The second one was when Glaxo of Great Britain decided to put its U.S. operations here in the Research Triangle Park. Glaxo has had great leadership historically. It's an old company that many of you know all over the world. But we were thrilled when they showed an interest in North Carolina, and as governor, as the top political leader in this state, I made 3 trips to London to invite them to come to North Carolina and to our park. So you see and they were attracted by our universities, by our bright scientists. It takes those 3 things together: political leadership, business leadership, and educational leadership to have a successful science park. Now today, the CEO of Glaxo, which is now GlaxoSmithKline, is Andrew Witty, who will be the keynote speaker for this great conference. Andrew Witty, who is a native of Great Britain, has led Glaxo in every part of the world. We have people here from all over the globe. Andrew Witty has been all over the globe. I expect he's been in every country represented at this conference. He has worked there. He has worked with your governments. He's led his company in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in the United States, and elsewhere. He understands that what it takes to be successful in envisioning what kinds of new drugs and other kinds of medical help are needed. He understands what it takes to develop those, to market those successfully. He's done that as a private entrepreneur and business leader, but he's also done that. He's also been very helpful in working with governments. He knows that we must work with government. Right now, we were talking before we came here about Glaxo's involvement with the Obama administration in the United States in trying to develop a good health care plan for all of our people. We must do that in a way that is consistent with economic growth and the success of our companies. But he is making sure that his company is involved in doing that. He is a man who has been recognized and involved deeply in many areas, a board member of the Singapore Economic Development Board. In 2003, he received the Public Service Medal from the government of Singapore. He's an advisor to governments in China and other places around the world. He's a member of the UK Health Innovations Council, constantly thinking about innovations, and the Business Council for Britain. We're very proud that Andrew Witty lived part of his life here in North Carolina for 3 years. He told me that his daughter was born in a hospital here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where one of my daughters was born. So we're very proud of him, and we're confident that the sciences in this country and all over the world will be stronger because of his leadership and his companies. I am very proud that he is here today to give the keynote address for this great conference. A business leader who understands the need for better medicines for the good life, especially for children. A man who understands that we have to have bright people to be successful and strong educational institutions. A man who understands that government and business and education must work together. I'm very proud to present to you, for the keynote address of this great conference, the CEO of GlaxoSmithKline, Mr. Andrew Witty.